What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today marked day 13 of Green Bay Packers training camp and day 2 of joint practices with the New England Patriots. So you know what that means. I have some highlights to react to and break down for you guys from today's practice. If you do happen to be a new viewer, I highly suggest going down and clicking the subscribe button. You will not regret it. I post Green Bay Packers content almost every single day, so if you want to stay in the loop with everything Packers throughout this entire training camp, preseason, and into the regular season, including news, analysis, updates, and live streams, you'll find it all here right on this channel. So let's dive right into it. And in this first clip, we see David Bakhtiari. He is back practicing. He's been out for the last, I think, 3 practices. Didn't play in that first preseason game against the Bengals. Probably won't play in any of these preseason games. He's kind of been on an on/off schedule for practicing so far throughout training camp. And he's had no setbacks, which is good to see him, out here practicing again and looks 100% fine. Obviously, there's been all the rumors going around that the Jets are looking to trade for Bakhtiari and all of that sort. I don't see it happening this year. I just feel like his contract and the way the salary cap is, it just doesn't really make too much sense. But I'm not going to say never, and, that very well could happen. It just doesn't seem likely the Packers are going to move on from their all-pro left tackle in their first year with Jordan Love at quarterback, giving him less protection. If Bakhtiari was traded right now, it would only save the Packers $1.55 million in cap space in 2023. The Packers still are on the books for $15 million cash, no matter what. They can't get rid of that due to all the money they've pushed into the future with restructuring David Bakhtiari's contract multiple times. So that would leave $19.78 million in dead cap in 2023 and $19.08 dead cap in 2024. So yeah, not really sure it's likely to happen in my opinion. Here's a clip of another player back from injury, and that is Kenny Clark. He was out a few practices with a back injury, likely just precautionary. A lot of the times during training camp when players are out with smaller injuries, they're not going to rush them back, especially if it's someone like Kenny Clark, David Bakhtiari, and they don't really necessarily need all those reps in training camp. It's more so for the younger players trying to make the roster. So no need to rush players back when they have a slight injury. So it seems, that was just a slight injury and everything is all good, and Kenny Clark is back practicing. And staying on the topic of injuries, in this clip, we see Jaden Reed at the top of the screen. We see Malik Heath catching a slant at the bottom. But Jaden Reed at the top, he left practice early yesterday and then didn't return into the 2-minute portions. He was, I think, hit across the middle and just got shaken up a little bit, was talking to trainers. He looked okay, but it was definitely something to monitor. He is back at practice, so he didn't even miss a single practice. He went through individual drills and he started in team drills today. So definitely nothing to worry about there. I'm glad because I'm so excited to see Jaden Reed in this offense, and I wouldn't want to see him suffer an injury in a practice and not be able to start the season the way I expect him to start. That starting slot wide receiver, the Packers motion man, using him out of the backfield as their punt return 1. He's been taking reps at punt return 1 most of training camp, so it looks like he'll have that role as well. I just feel like he's going to be used so much on this team in general with the offense, the punt return, the way he's going to be used in this offense, the versatility of Jaden Reed. I'm super excited for, and I just can't wait for week 1. Here we have a clip of Packers tight end Luke Musgrave, who is getting a lot of action this training camp. He has been tight end 1 for, I feel like, a few weeks now, with DeGuara kind of jumping in and out from injury. He's back now, DeGuara, and Tucker Kraft kind of being the backup guy. Tyler Davis tearing his ACL. Musgrave has been the tight end 1, and he showed his ability to be a tight end 1 and create mismatches all over the field at that tight end position. Super fast tight end. Yesterday, they even ran a jet sweep with him, which I do have a clip of that, so I'll show you that at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But they're doing so much with him, and he had a nice seam touchdown yesterday against Kyle Duggar, which I'll show you as well. So they're doing so much with Musgrave, and I'm so excited to see what he can bring to this offense in a real game against a real defense. We saw limited action of him in that Bengals preseason game. I want to see more in this Patriots one. But I'm very confident in Musgrave and what he can do for this offense with Jordan Love at quarterback and the ability to use a tight end like a wide receiver out of the slot, out wide, in line, crossing routes, seam routes to spread open that defense. Here's a warm-up clip of Jordan Love throwing a lofting corner route to Romeo Doubs, and I think we saw Clifford throwing to, I think that's Christian Watson, deep dig back of the end zone there. So the two Packers starting wide receivers. Doubs has looked great, looked on par with Jordan Love all of training camp, preseason. Obviously, he got a couple catches in preseason, including that touchdown. And Christian Watson has been starting to really heat it up in practice. Yesterday, we saw that 75-yard touchdown thrown by Jordan Love to Christian Watson against the Patriots defense. Today, I believe Jordan Love found Christian Watson for 2 touchdowns in the first session of team period. So be on the lookout for my recap video after this one, going over everything that happened in today's practice. There was a lot of fighting fighting going on. But nonetheless, back to this clip. Just Romeo Doubs running a corner route with Jordan Love, just building that rapport. So like I said, there's been a lot of fighting at practice today. Yesterday was very calm. It was the complete opposite today. It got very chippy. By this point, when I'm making this video right now, there was 7 different fights. This one on a special teams play, and I believe at the bottom of the pile, Isaiah McDuffie being kicked by Patriots players. Then there's a helmet thrown. Aaron Jones was even fighting in practice after getting tripped up, throwing punches, which that says a lot because I would never see Aaron Jones doing that. So obviously, things are being said. Jabril Peppers said, there's fake tough guys here in Green Bay. It's getting really, really chippy. There was a player on the Patriots defense that got kicked out of practice by Bill Belichick. At some point, it just becomes counterintuitive and not really valuable in terms of a practice standpoint. There's so much fighting today, and it really kind of overshadowed everything. So sadly for today's practice, a second joint session against the Patriots, there wasn't really any 11v11 clips posted. As I've stated many times, you're not necessarily allowed to record those things, but sometimes the fans do and post them to Twitter, and then it ends up all over the place, including this channel. But since I don't have any from today, there was other clips that came out from yesterday's practice, some really nice clips from the 11v11 portion, so I at least want to show you guys those. So in this first clip, as I mentioned earlier, Luke Musgrave had a jet touch pass from out wide at tight end, which I think there's only been 17 tight end arounds in last year's season, in the 2022 season, so it's not done often. But I guess if you have someone like Musgrave with the extreme speed, kind of built like a wide receiver, that could definitely create a mismatch because there's likely a bigger defensive back or a linebacker over top of him, and if you move him in motion like this, throw a jet touch pass and he can get outside, he could definitely gain yards here. So really interesting to see the Packers running something like this. We saw Patrick Taylor out there blocking. I'm interested to see if they're going to run this in season. I know they've been doing it with Reed, Torrey, Watson. If they can move a tight end around like that as well, it'll just add a whole nother dynamic. In this clip, we have another one for Luke Musgrave, and this was his seam touchdown against Kyle Duggar we talked about yesterday. We see Jordan Love throwing the ball high for Musgrave, and that's exactly where you want to target him if you're Jordan Love. Use him to his height advantage against a defensive back like this, and you see Musgrave go up there, grab that ball while spinning around and basically falling into the end zone. So I think he's going to use a lot, like I said, up the middle of the field. He's just running an outside release seam, kind of breaking in between that defensive back while Samori Toure ran a corner to pull the other defensive back over. So nice concept there by Toure and Musgrave kind of crossing on that concept there, and Musgrave using his body to shield the defender. And Kyle Duggar's a good defender in terms of covering tight ends in the NFL, so very impressive to see this work against him, and Musgrave so easily go up and grab that football for a touchdown. A nice throw, like I said, by Love to high point Musgrave there. Here we have another clip, and this one's going to be the touchdown to Romeo Doubs yesterday. That was a tiptoe touchdown catch on the right side, kind of running a corner route here. Jordan Love putting the ball to where only his wide receiver can get it, high into the outside, and Romeo Doubs makes an extremely impressive catch. I think the ref originally called it out, but then they came back and called it a touchdown catch. So, like I said, impressive throw by Jordan Love here, climbing the pocket, thrown kind of under pressure there to where only Romeo Doubs can get it. And Doubs has been super impressive in all training camp and preseason, making catches like this, contested catches. It's just impressive by Romeo Doubs so far. Just a really good show of play by both Love and Doubs here, who have been, on a great connection so far in camp. And for the last play, it's a Jaden Reed clip. Jordan Love finds him in the back of the end zone. I believe it's ruled out. He doesn't get both feet down, but you're more so watching this because the extreme athleticism by Jaden Reed there to get up, catch that ball, in contention and hold on to it. He doesn't get both feet down, but a lot of people always were like, oh, Jaden Reed's a smaller wide receiver. He's not going to be able to make contested catches, but that is not the case. He did that a lot at Michigan State, where he really surprised you with his physicality and his vertical ability and his ability to go up there and grab a contested ball, which, as you can see here, would have liked to see it, get 2 feet in for a touchdown, but nonetheless, you're more so looking at from the athletic standpoint from Jaden Reed. So I'm really glad he's back at practice today, and that injury wasn't anything significant because, like I said, he's been making plays, all of camp, and then also in that Bengals game, he made a nice contested catch, and we see it again here. So guys, as I mentioned, the first giveaway for this month has officially ended, the signed Christian Watson helmet. So congratulations to Dawson K for winning that helmet. I'll get it shipped out here very, very shortly. So that means there is another item that's going to run till the end of the month for a giveaway on this channel. Thank you to Pristine Auction. And that's going to be this signed Romeo Doubs away Packers jersey. So in order to enter in this giveaway, you head to pristineauction.com, register on their website using my registration code BAS. That'll enter you in this giveaway and all future giveaways I do on this channel. It'll also give you a free $10 site credit so you can check out all the cool items they have over there for auction. But that about does it for this video. I wish there was more 11v11 portion recorded today, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. There's a lot of fighting today, overshadowed a lot of it, but at least I was able to show you guys what I could get from yesterday's practice as well as some of the highlights from today. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It supports my channel a ton, but I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack, go.